William Shakespeare said true hope is swift and flies with swallows' wings. Kings it makes gods, and meaner creatures kings. Hope is a funny thing. It shines brightest in the darkest moments of our lives. It can be brought on by loss, by pain, by memories. But wherever and whenever it appears, hope looks forwards, not backwards. It looks up, not down. Hope promises a future better than the present. That is what hope does best. Hope breeds hope. Oh, hello. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these amazing people have agreed to come and play games with me, and that makes me happy. The amazing people are, tonight, Bison_Stonefist.
That's me, as I'm changing my name in Zoom. I'm Bison. I am here a lot. You can catch me currently 3-ish nights a week. On Tuesdays, I run our Cyberpunk Red campaign, Carnage Heights. On Thursdays, I play Encino, the Dragonborn Paladin of the Survival, in our Fool's Gold 5e game, King's Pyrite. Tonight, I'll be playing Sid, the finally unbroken, the unbroken engineer. And on Mondays, normally I would be playing Jack Aldridge for our Buffy the Vampire Slayer game, Grave New World. I believe the epilogue is still supposed to happen. Yes.
This upcoming
it's
Monday.
Supposed to be this Monday.
Yep.
Yeah.
If everyone can make it.
That's the plan.
Make it this time.
Yep.
Here's hoping.
Real life permitting.
But
yes.
Yeah. Other than that, I just got obsessed with the new Avatar game. If you can see me on the Discord, I'll probably be gushing about it for a while. It's really cool. You should check it out. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. It came out on Thursday.
Very cool. Let's just go around. So that takes us to the waywardest of the Kniggets. Wayward Knight.
Hi. I'm Chris, aka Wayward Knight. I am here on Saturday nights playing Delilah Stillwater. I'm also here on Monday nights DMing our Buffy the Vampire Slayer game, Grave New World. I am an artist. I put my art on the internet. If you like it, you can also purchase it. My links are all there. I am also the host of the Professional Questers podcast that is debuting in a couple days, December 12th, available on, I think, all major streaming platforms at this point.
Nice.
The major ones.
That again? What's the name of that again?
Professional Questers.
Yeah. And how's editing going?
It's been done for like a week and a half.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Yeah.
Oof, I feel judged. And I asked the question. Okay. And that brings us around to Akaris Sophia of many things. Tell us of your many things, please.
Oh, I don't know. I play Minecraft on the Lifecraft server. I'm here on Saturdays. I'm trying to get back to being here on, well, not on this channel, on my channel with a Dirty 20 gaming group, beginners group. Let's see. Misty Fortunes and Absent Hearts.
That's the one. Yeah.
Something hearts. Something hearts.
I just call it Misty. But anyways, it's our Barovian, our loosely based on a Barovian Adventures storyline.
And from what I see in the chat, you have the players absolutely sucked into that game.
Which is so sweet because we've been playing like once a month at best lately. But I'm hopeful. It's been less than a month since our last game, and we might pull it off tomorrow. So. Oh,
here's hoping. But that brings us around to me, which means I'm going to talk about the channel instead, which means as many nights of the week as we can generate, we will have something of a show between 6 p.m. Pacific and sometime later than that, depending on the show and depending on the evening. You should tune in and find out. If you tune in on any of the nights and we are not here, it just means we're not here. You should tune in on another night and see, because we probably will be. That's a lot of words. Our
Not
character
nearly as
art.
many as it could have been.
No, that's true. Our character art is provided by Hero Forge. Background image was out of Pixabay, and the rest of it is us. Roll20 is our tabletop of choice, although you can't see it, but we'll tell you about it anyway. Let's go. Allegra. Village life suits you. Well, suited you. It still does. You're just snoring in it now. But yes, you've kind of
I've
conked
dropped
out.
in exhaustion. I've been over 24 hours without sleep.
Yep. You conk out. And in that sleep, there's, well, first of all, I want you to tell me. All I'm going to give you is where you were, where you started when they found you. There's a dream about that. Give us, what does that look like?
Oh, you want to dream about my home city?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so dreaming about my home city, um, I instead of being rescued by these people who needed directions to somewhere, I find myself inside the courtroom, where the our civic leaders have been accused me of being a witch. That's what I'm on trial for, is for being a
Yep.
witch. Not for the sabotage I thought they'd figured out that I had done.
Nope.
But yes, because I've been something of a rebel leader,
Mm-hmm.
and at least a rebel encourager and so forth. Law and Order post-apocalypse. Yes. And somehow I find myself very jittery, and I hum to try and calm myself and try and, okay, I can do this. How can I get out of this? I know he told me to leave, and defiantly I didn't leave. I'm still here, but boy was he surprised at that. What else can I pull off to surprise these people? What else can I pull off? What else can I pull off? And it's like, I don't suppose I could do witchcraft. I mean, they say I'm a witch. Maybe I can do witchcraft. Wouldn't that be cool? Um, and I start trying to think of hocusy pocusy stuff,
Yep.
and little sparks start going off at various places, but it's getting kind of out of hand, and I'm not too sure it's actually me doing it, and it's getting a little chaotic in here. And I managed to get down, sort of down under
Yeah.
my chair and grab
Yeah.
my crutches, and I crawl out the side.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing in my dreams.
And as you crawl out, you kind of snap back awake at the table. You should be asleep, but the dream woke you up. And at that moment, you hear noises that you know are words. And if your brain was working, you'd know what the words were, but it's just now big faces coming in out of focus. Suddenly you're being helped up without your assistant or your permission. You find yourself on your crutches being led quickly to the barn again. And they get you up the hill, and I mean, like, one eye's closing, then the other one, you're micro napping all the way up there while you're walking.
And I'm trying to breathe. Taking breaths and sort of hum, listening to the babble of sounds around me, and just trying to
Yep.
sink into that and resonate with that.
And the doors to the barn slam open, and inside are the cowherds wearing crowns made of straw. There's leftover. There's a lot of pastries on a table. There's leftover from the lunch. There's bottles of mead and other drink. Everybody in there is all dressed up, including the cows. The cows have flowers on their horns and festive paint on them.
I crawled out of a courtroom into a.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
As you step in,
dreamlike.
Somebody puts a robe over your shoulders, and maybe you've got time to think, but I'm not warm. When you look down, they've made a collar out of straw, and it's kind of a dark blacky purpley robe, and over there they keep pushing you in one direction, like you're almost going to fall, and you see a throne made of hay bales that they've made for you. Then they get you plunked into that and kind of spin around, and I mean, I'm assuming you're almost falling over.
And I'm looking around for sparks because this is clearly still the
Yep.
tree.
Oh yeah, and you do that long blink, and you feel the fall. You feel yourself going forward, but you can't catch it. You're out again, and wham! You feel yourself hit the ground. Then there's a little period of blackness, and you wake up with this circle of faces, both human and bovine, looking down at you in grave concern. All of them festively groomed and standing above you with baguettes and wine, looking worried at you.
including one of the cows.
Oh yes, all the
Um, and everything sort of paused, and it's like, and so now I'm thinking, oh no, I've forgotten my lines. I'm supposed to have lines here, aren't I? And I'm sure I've forgotten them. I'm still dreaming, aren't I? I gotta wake up. This is. Oh no, I don't know. I'm so exhausted. Maybe I could dream about Maybe I could dream about sleeping. That would be good.
And
I've
yet,
had
no
those
matter
dreams.
So
no matter
I'm
how much you
clearly sort of
try,
foggy-eyed
Yep.
and not tracking.
but no matter how much you try, you can't get out of this experience, dream or not. They prop you back up in the throne. They put a drink in your hand, whether you drink it or not is up to you. They are making pronouncements in your name. You hear the phrase "Queen of the Cows" several times.
Okay. And are any of the party here?
No, they're off doing a thing. I forget exactly what it was you guys were doing, but we
Okay,
had to.
they're off
They
doing.
yeah.
Does that include Verite and Stefano?
They are. They've decided that hard physical labor is not for them.
So they are not here as well.
They're not here, but they're down in the village helping. I know what they're doing. They're helping the guy set up his sharpening shop.
Okay.
The guy that took all the sharpening tools from Sid. You are muted.
Weren't they smuggling like a pastry, or were they like doing a pastry smuggling ring with the children?
They were passed out with the kids, yeah, and then when they woke up, they are now helping, yeah.
Oh, that's
Thank you for the
wonderful.
reminder. Yes, yeah. So they woke up from that, stumbled across the street, and they're now helping the guy set up his sharpening shop. You imagine an engineer and a savant trying to help you set up. All you want is like a shelf and a place for a sharpener, and they're trying to build little apparatuses for you and steam powered things, and yeah, they're
And
helping.
just look at the
All of a sudden,
beam on Bison's face here.
It's like the Sorcerer's Apprentice, but with little steam dudes.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the
Oh, I love it.
what's the timeline? I'm confused. Where are we?
We're post dinner, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
That right after the big meal. You
After-
guys went and did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Artemis
We
is
went
tasting.
and Artemis is we're
Last
doing stuff.
last week is
Wibbly
happening
wobbly,
now.
timey
While
wimey
these guys
stuff.
are we're up at the barn. Yeah, we're gonna be back
And
down to you guys.
the face tarts.
Yep,
Yeah.
the face tarts.
Yep. And then you guys went
The
to sleep.
face
I remember
trees.
watching
The
that.
face.
yes.
Oh,
Face.
face trees. I
Oh,
love it.
Lord.
Yeah. Then we ended with the dream sequence. The target on the landscape, the prehistoric critters being hunted in the valley,
Oh yeah.
and then
yeah.
the big sign that said Venice. Yeah. So you guys are all asleep when we're just going to get Allegra through a couple more moments of the and then back passed out and then back passed out again. And yeah, eventually, yeah.
I kind of sort of vaguely some of the words start permeating through, and I'm starting to get oriented or in tune.
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, this is all going on around me, and it doesn't seem to require anything of me. So
Yep.
I will take a breath and sort of blink my eyes open, and it's like, okay. And I will look interestedly at what they're doing and listen interestedly at what they're doing and give them some attention.
Yep. Perfect. As you're doing that and wobbling, you feel a sort of a tug at the robe that you're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you turn to look, one of the old Nans is standing there with essentially a scarecrow dressed vaguely like you.
Oh dear. Okay.
And she says, if you'd like to leave, they're so drunk they'll sing at this.
Oh,
And she's
bless
not
you.
wrong. You turn around and they're like the party has taken on a
Oh,
life
bless
of its
you.
own and is starting to swirl up in this barn. So yeah,
Bless you. Thank you. And I will sort of drop down kind of on the side, let her place that as I
yeah,
go crawling away,
yeah.
just like in my dream.
Yes, perfect. And you crawl away to find some place to sleep. The party, cows included, goes on well into the night. By the end of the night, at least one of the cows has got lipstick and eye makeup, but only on one eye. Ah, so, the next morning, with all of you rested, do you guys wake up? The first thing you notice is Artemis is not. Well, you notice because they're in the car, they're in the Orchid Mobile. They've crawled into the back seat. They've pulled the hammock down over them, and they're just cocooned in the back seat. They might as well have a "Do Not Disturb" sign on them.
Just like nods and is like, okay,
Yeah.
we know the drill.
A small group of people is getting ready to go and sell some of the hammers and the other tools and implements that you got for them. Another day has started, but everybody's going out with a full belly today. They took the self-care time in the morning that you guys taught them. They're taking the items that you guys got for them to get them back on their feet. What do you do?
And so do I have a chance to see the things that Stefano and Verite have built
Yep.
around the
They've
sharpener?
been talked down by the sharpening guy into building him basically an adjustable work table, which because it's Verite and Stefano is infinitely adjustable in 9 axes of rotation. You know, it's way more than the job
It's
needs.
like one of those gyro drum sets
Yeah.
from the 80s
Oh yeah.
and 90s.
Yeah, it's
It
that
just
level
spins
of
in whatever
complex.
direction.
Yeah, he's going to be able to sharpen anything ever perfectly. And the boys are
Upsetting.
feeling very, very smart about themselves, if a bit sunburned still.
So as you know, the laborers start walking out to the fields, and I mean, Allegra just looks around in awe at these things moving around and all that, and she'll turn to him and says, do you have in mind some things to help them out there?" And she
Who?
looks at them expectantly.
Yeah, who
She's
were you?
pointing out towards the fields. I'm talking to Stefano and Verite.
Oh, um, I'd need a lot more silver, but I could make him a steam cow.
Would a steam cow plow the fields?
It would pull the plow,
Well, that would work.
but that gives Stefano a couple of seconds to think, and he says, "Why don't we just make the plows more efficient?" And Verite turns to him, and they start talking math at each other and wobble off once again, having been directed by Allegra without being told. They head off to make the plows more efficient. Delilah, when you wake up and come out of your hut and see all of this going on, the dream fresh in your head, you do. What are your thoughts?
I think first thing she does is write it in her notebook
Yep.
so that she doesn't forget. And I mean, I forget a lot of stuff, so that's not news. If you watch back a couple episodes, I forgot my character had died at one point. I think she just tries to be normal. And
yeah.
like she's not entirely sure. Like, she hasn't been around for whatever the hell Allegra's been doing
Yep.
with these people.
Yep.
So she doesn't really know what happened, or like why everyone I I don't even think she knows that there's like been a revolution, like a cultural revolution
Yep.
here.
Fair enough.
Um
You guys were gone for most of the
yeah. So Delilah will probably just like wash her face a little bit, comb through her hair, um think about, I think at this point she takes a couple minutes every morning to sort of retrain her thinking to her new name.
yeah.
Um and then I think she recognizes that it's probably time to get going again. So she packs up her stuff and loads it into the car and just starts getting things ready, in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all you get from Artemis in the backseat is
Yeah.
yeah. Sid. Sunlight
Kind
hits
of
your
more of
face.
this.
They were all up again before you again. They're all
Yeah.
working hard again, even though they've already had breakfast.
Like, Sid got up early only to find out that he was like on the tail end of coffee.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. You got the
he makes
dregs.
himself a pot of tea, and you know gets everybody else's stuff into the mobile. He
Yep.
doesn't have a morning routine anymore, so this is the closest thing he's got. So when Felicity wakes up and greets the day, she'll see that Sid has a half cold cup of tea sitting on the rear
Mhm.
bumper of the Orcamobile,
Yeah. And
as he's packing stuff.
once the lads figure out a way to make a vibrating plow that's easier to push through the soil, I can think of a couple of ideas, but never mind. They figure out a way. They come over to the car and just sort of hop in the back like kids. It's like, we're going. We're next. Every day's an adventure, right? I guess this is one of those moments. As weird as both of them have been, right? As pyromaniacal as one of them, and as outright capitalistic rat bastard as the other one has shown tendencies. Right now, they're just two kids on an adventure. That rumble seat of the car is just Innocenceville. They're just, what's next? Like, not thinking about the people that have died or almost died, or the accidents or the bad things. They're just enthralled with being on this adventure.
Then sitting in the back, it's like the one place where they can literally drop all responsibility
Yep.
and all pretense of it.
Yep.
So
I guess Felicity hops in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Allegra will move towards the back seat to sort of perch around Artemis.
Yep. Fair enough. Yep. It's easy enough to do. You're in the back, so the two of you sit back in the passenger seat, so to speak, if there was such a thing. The tiller's kind of in the middle, but yeah.
mhm.
All right.
A bench seat.
Yeah. So you guys, I know it was already cranked up and ready to go because you thought you were going to have to make an emergency escape, perhaps. But the Orchid Mobile makes its way sedately and controlled fashion out of this little village, climbs up out of the valley, back onto the road, heading north. Yeah.
As we're traveling, Felicity, I think, is keeping an eye out for any kind of landmarks that look familiar from that dream.
Yep. Absolutely. Which means you're going to see it first. because it's not that first valley. You go down into that, up the other side, and this is just all overgrown orchards and whatnot. You're used to it. It's Italy gone feral, right? But a couple hours later, one valley over, when you crest the hill, you're driving, so you do see it first. Off to your left. So at this point, the ocean is now visible on your right hand side as you're heading north. That beautiful pale blue of the Mediterranean, and I think that's the Aegean. That little bit there. It's
Adriatic.
Adriatic, is it? That one? One of those two?
Yeah.
Either way, okay.
On the right, it's the Adriatic.
Yeah. Okay, the Adriatic. Thank you. So it's that pale blue. You can see the waves crashing in the distance. And then off to your left is this feral Italy. Except as you come over the crest, you can see up the valley, it's trees. There's this all completely overgrown area, and then there's a circle of slightly less overgrown. It's literally a physical thing. Like the trees in there are shorter, they haven't been growing for as long. And a couple 100 meters further, you see the next ring, because you can see them now at the end of the valley. Inside that, where it's only weeds and short saplings. And inside that, where it's still fields, but they've gone fallow. And in the very center, a very small lawn with the palest bit of green left. And in the center, what looks like a recreation of an old Roman villa sitting in the sun.
So I know like the different rings are like at various growth stages. Are they also like terraced into the earth? Or is it just like using the natural slope of the valley?
It looks, because you asked the question, it looks like they had this much territory, and then they've had to abandon that much, and then abandon that much more, and then abandon that much more.
Okay.
So there is a physical height
Interesting.
difference, because the trees that have been there for 30 years are taller than the trees that are here.
Yeah, but it's
10
not
years
it's
ago.
not like
It's
it's not like there were terraced agricultural plots in the
No.
mountainside.
no, and
Okay.
it's not intentional. This isn't somebody isn't doing this for effect.
Okay.
Yeah, this was an inability
Interesting.
to farm the whole area.
Yeah. Okay. I think Delilah Felicity stops the car for a moment and looks at Sid and says, pit stop?
Something caught your eye.
She will point to this weird sort of villa plantation.
I saw that in my dream last night. Kind of like that. It was like a big target.
Was that my dream or was that her dream?
This
This is
was
everybody's dream.
Everybody's dream.
this
Oh, that's
is
right.
yeah,
Everybody
this
but
is-
Allegra.
Yeah, too
That's
tired.
right.
But yeah,
We all had
that
that.
was
We all
that was from the very back seat.
Oh yeah, so sorry. Rewind. Felicity would have stopped, looked at what she was seeing, and gone, well, that's freaking weird. Sage. And she'll like gesture with her head.
What the devil?
I had a dream about that.
Yeah. You're not the only one.
Wait, what?
I had a very strange dream last night as well.
I saw it too.
Allegra, did you have a dream about
I just want to
this?
verify. Did I have that dream?
Nope, you were too crashed. Yeah. These guys were well fed and well slept and everything else. You were on the brink of you.
Is this because we
came
ate
out.
our own faces?
I
Sid
don't.
pulls his tart out from his bag. It's like, I didn't, and now
Okay.
it's out. Now that it's out.
Well, now that it's out.
I don't remember any dreams from last night. I don't think.
You didn't like give us any like woo woo dreams though, right?
I don't think so. I don't know how I would do that.
I mean, neither do I. That's why I'm asking.
I don't think so.
Looking back at
Okay.
Allegra, over her shoulder, you could see Verite turns to Stefano and goes, He's kind of got it right. He makes a humming noise. He's not like saying abracadabra, but he's.
But she doesn't make the connection.
No,
Allegra, I mean, doesn't make
it's
the
happening
connection.
behind you, so yeah, you don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Is this a bad omen, or do you think it merits investigation?
Well, the ones who pointed me to it were the shades of your parents, so they've been pretty reliable so far.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not sure if it makes her feel better or worse.
Yeah.
She's not
Or
either.
just creepy. Yep. Stefano, as always
Um,
oblivious, just hops out and says, "I think it's a matter of irrigation," and just starts heading off. Like this is.
Sorry, Felicity gets out and just like basically sprints over and like grabs the back of his shirt and is like,
What?
would you stop it?
Oh, okay.
We
And you
don't go anywhere on our own. There are crazy people out here, remember?
Yes, we should all go.
Okay. Someone needs to stay here with Artemis, though.
You
I can
hear
stay with Artemis.
you hear Verite say, "I can too," and he's sitting in the back. He's taking one of those steam tubes from the putt-putt boat, and he's got something stuffed in the end of it, but he's sitting there holding it to his chest like a rifle. I
Oh,
can stay
gosh.
too.
And as a player, I don't know that Felicity would want to leave Allegra there.
Allegra, I don't know if it's best to leave you here, but we need someone. Actually, everyone back in the car. Everyone back in the car. And Delilah will drive down closer to
Yep.
this place. Just
Oh yeah, you drive down the road, you find there's a path. You're gonna be able to drive right up to it. I mean, it's an orchard.
okay. So she'll go slowly, just to like make her presence known, and like if anyone's gonna like come at them, like give
Yeah.
them ample time so that they know what could maybe be coming for them or something. But
What-
she will.
What happened in the dream? You said you dreamed about it. What happened? What are we watching out for?
Well, there was literally a target in a valley that looked just like this. And lo and behold, I think we found the target.
Did something
And-
happen at the target?
It was
The
a
target
fly.
was it, yeah. The target was different from the mammoths and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
a literal target.
Yeah. We just sort of passed over it. And Felicity will park the car.
And as you're driving in, you hear Stefano's looking around, and he says, "Yep, definitely human irrigation issues." He taps you, Sid, like reaches all the way over to the seat and taps you up in the front. You know, like when you haven't got enough steam to run the system, you have to just use smaller parts.
Shut off the parts that aren't being used.
You can only water so many plants with so many people. And then as you go from like one of the zones to the next, at that time he says, and they kept losing people. As you're getting closer, and you're
Allegra has a real. Frank gets a really guilty look on her face as they're sitting here describing essentially the sabotage she did.
Do you think there are any people left?
Nope. That's Verite in the back seat.
Guess we'll have to find out.
So Felicity pulls the car up to, I guess, the front of the villa.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's a U-shaped villa with the parking, like the loop driveway, so you on the gravel up to the doors, and your 4 pointless steps because it's Roman. You know, there's 4 steps for no reason, pillars that are not doing anything structural, but it's glorious. But that is now sort of on 3 sides of you, 2 stories tall. No sound, broken windows, curtains flapping in the breeze.
I swear to God, if we find constructs in this house. I mean, I know it's unlikely, but
Zid was just thinking it reminded him of Venice. So he takes out both hammers. Actually, no. Did Verite give the other one back to him yet? Or?
It's it wasn't given back when you woke up this morning. It was back in your room.
Great.
So he successfully snuck this time. Yeah, you see, there's it takes you a while to figure it out, but there's actually a compression system built into the front now, which acts basically as a like a capacitor. So it can only hit so hard and then it'll bend. So this won't happen again, the shattering. So he's improved it.
Yeah. So Sid takes them both out, uses the one as a torch. Oh, like forge hammer. That's the word.
Yeah. As you're stepping, so as you're stepping into that huge foyer, because villa, the red light reflecting off all those marble colonnades and the broken statues and the mosaicked floors, all covered in dust. Yeah, it's like a Time Team wet dream in here, but it's all still standing, right?
Delilah has flashbacks to her like fancy ass penthouse in Florence.
But doors are broken off of hinges. Most of the wood's been scavenged. All the furniture is gone, and there's no movement except the wind. No plants.
This isn't ominous at all.
Never is it? Do we scavenge? Looks like this place has been picked over.
Let's at least explore. Probably best if we stay as a group.
Agreed.
Allegra will open the door and pull out her crutches and start levering herself up. Looking back, Artemis is still out.
Yeah, Artemis is still done. You see Verite in the back. He's now got 2 of his steam guns loaded. Like he's got one that he's holding and he's filled another one and it's sitting there. I'll stay out here and protect her, but you can see the look on his face as he doesn't want to go in. It's freaking him out.
If we find anything interesting, we'll bring it out for you, okay?
Okay, if I see anything interesting, I'll shoot it.
So the tune that Allegra's humming shifts a little bit as she's trying to sort of harmonize with Verite because she's
yeah.
concerned. It's caught her attention, and it's like she wants to kind of check it.
I
Uh,
cast vibe check.
yes.
Exactly, that's exactly it.
It's perfect because the vibe is really simple. He knows what's in there. He knows what you're going to find. He doesn't like it.
Does Felicity pick up on this?
And you've got two chances because either you can pick it up from him or you can pick it up from Allegra's attention on him.
I think yeah, you guys would all see that he's kind of, well, he's being all brave with his gun. He's definitely leaning away from the building.
You can hear the knees knocking.
Yeah.
Is there something you want to share, Verite?
They're all going to be dead for a long time.
Going to be dead?
They're all dead. When you find them, they'll be going to be dead. Language is weird. They're already dead, but they won't be dead until you find them.
Schrodinger's corpse.
That's what I was just thinking.
I was about to say
Yeah.
Schrodinger's something.
Philosophically speaking, it would actually be Wittgenstein's corpse because it's all about the use of words. But never mind.
Eat and.
Yes. I don't want to see him.
That's okay, Verite. You don't have to see them. And Felicity says that with a very, tone that conveys that Felicity has seen a lot of death.
Yeah, fair. Oh, yeah. Given what you did, yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
He did not. He lived in a basement with machines. He doesn't like this at all.
Yeah. So, Delilah, Felicity understands.
I love it.
I played as Delilah for 9 months, okay?
Yep. Delilah played as Delilah for almost 30 years, so don't worry. Yeah.
Exactly. 31,
Yeah.
I think. The thingamajig. Yeah. So Felicity understands that seeing the dead can be incredibly uncomfortable.
Yep.
So she is not upset at all that Verite doesn't want to go in.
Yeah.
But she herself will look to Sid, give a nod, and to Allegra, give another nod, and she'll begin the approach.
You guys all heading in as a group?
And Allegra's taking Verite's song in.
Okay. That tension with
it's
you.
Like because because she's gonna say as she gets in, what's gonna resonate with that?
Yep.
So she's carrying it in to focus her attention.
You get echoes, variations on a theme. That's what I was looking for from various parts of the manor. It's not quite the funeral march. It's more of an ode, but it's all on the ground floor and it's all in different rooms. As you guys, as a group, move towards the closest one of them, I'm assuming you would be looking around. This room is stripped bare, but as you open this door and you're looking into a bed chamber, not a bedroom, it's a bed chamber. It has, big curtains and windows. The windows are broken and the curtains are flapping, but everything else is still here. There's a big bureau along one wall that took 7 people to move. They might have built the room around it. It's one of those, King something to something over there. The bed has the curtaining around it. And you can see a figure in the bed, but this room is untouched. The rest of the rooms, the carpet's been ripped out of the hallways. The banisters have been stripped of their wood. But nobody's gone in this room. And you can see the body on the bed.
Are we talking desiccated skeleton, like
That's what it
like
looks like
how
from
what
here.
level of decomposition?
What it looks like from here is almost like a mummy, but there is the curtains are hanging around it, so those sort of gauze curtains. You would have to get closer to have a look, but it looks for all the world like a shrunken mummy from this
Uh,
distance.
Felicity will do the quote unquote dirty work, I guess, and investigate.
Sid?
Sid will keep an eye on her while also going through the drawers of the bureau.
Okay. And Allegra?
And I assume that Veritas tune resonates beautifully and is
Yeah.
exactly suited to the acoustics of this room.
It is one of the 4 notes of that harmony. Yes.
Is there an area of the room that seems to resonate more? I mean, is it the body? Is it a space in the room? Is it by the window? Where does the song sound perfect?
The whole song in this room sounds like it's in A minor 7th diminished. It's just
Huh?
everything in here is just got an eeriness to it. And Felicity, as you pull open that curtain and look, it's what was probably the monsieur of the house, to use the French term. It's a man in all of his Sunday finest. He's got his suit on, the ties pulled up to here, his hair that is now, I mean, the skin is down to the bone. It really is like a natural mummy. It's just dehydrated over decades. You realize that they've been here. Pardon me, I take that back. Months. It's been months. They're desiccated, but it's not generations ago. It was a relatively the inner circle, right? When they were only enough left for them to take care of the grass, it was just the family left. That's what you're at. So that's sort of 4 to 6 months ago.
And just the one?
In this room, there's 3 other rooms set around.
Ah,
All 4 of them, either someone put them there, but for all the world, it looks like they did this to themselves. When they realized there was no hope left, they perhaps had a final meal. Each went to their room, made their peace, put on their finest, laid down on their beds, and waited.
This is like the stories my father told me about the dying, but it's much sooner.
It's hard to die with dignity when you know you won't have any dignity in death. You do what you can when you can't choose how you die.
Sid goes back to looking through the drawers.
These are aristocrats' drawers. The top drawers, really nice stuff. The bestest socks, perfectly folded. The nicest undergarments, perfectly prepared, maybe even unstarched little, stands. Everything perfect. But one drawer down, holes with socks in them, underwear that's been around the block a number of times, big comfy pants.
Did you say holes with socks in them?
Yes, that's how bad they are. I have been talking for like 5 hours today. Pardon me. I got it's the wrong order.
I'm just picking on you.
It's all good. Yes.
As a guy who has worn those socks, it is a perfectly accurate description. They are holes with socks in them.
Yes.
The heel is a suggestion. There is one toe.
Yep. So the impression that I'm hoping to give off here is one of, I'll be nice, I won't call it pretension, but that keeping up appearances. That's probably the best way to put it. And it looks like they did that through the entire failure of this entire vineyard villa community.
Pride,
it's very dignified,
ego.
but they're all still very, very gone.
Sid takes a moment and then takes one of the pairs of socks. Because you can never go without a good pair of socks.
The fancy ones or the holy ones?
Not the holy ones. He'd be looking for a good pair of
The
socks.
fancy
Well,
fancies.
you don't want blessed socks.
Yeah. Pope
Yeah,
socks.
I'm terrible today.
Pope socks.
What is
Special.
Stefano doing? Is he still out with Verite?
Stefano has done that thing where he's standing in a spot where he's able to see you guys through the door, but he's also be able to see Verite out the front door,
Mm.
and he's just sort of bopping back and forth with his eyes.
His lifelines.
Yeah.
Allegra's going to make her way back out to Verite.
Okay.
And she's going to take the song with her. And this time it's got depth and harmonies to it. It's not just the
Yeah.
tune she picked up from him. And so she'll sit back, she'll make her way to the back to the rumble seat with him.
Yeah.
And she's just going to sit next to him, humming with the music.
I told you. But there's no question. He reads, whether you know you're making the noise on purpose or not, he reads it perfectly. I told you.
And the sound is going to shift a little bit into the tuning where it swells, and then when someone's ready to speak, it fades out.
Yeah.
This sort of invitation to him to speak.
I'm still way better with things than I am with people. I want to be good with people like Stefano was, except that when he was good with people, he wasn't good with people. I don't know who's supposed to be my hero. And that's the one that just hangs there. That's the truth.
And Allegra's just going to sit with him for a little while.
Perfect. Sid. Oh, Felicity? Was that a request or is he itchy nose?
That's a request.
Okay, go. Yeah.
That's a request.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Felicity goes back to Sid and says, "You think we have a shovel around here? And how much digging do you think you could do?"
Sid takes a moment. You can see him kind of test the limits. Verite said there was 4.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should identify who, and then we'll figure out where.
She nods.
What you find when you search all the rooms is a family of 4. 2 parents and 2 adult children. The parents are 60s-ish, the adult children are 30s-ish.
Mm.
Do we find any identifying documents or name tags on anything? Monograms?
Oh, thank you for asking. I almost forgot. On one of the desks in one of the rooms, you see a piece of paper that has a pen lying on it, like they were going to write a letter, but they didn't. When you go over and look down, you can see the top of the paper. It's partially faded, but it says Alma and an STU something, and it fades off because it's been sitting in the sun. And someone has changed the A to an O and crossed out the little bit at the end. So it says the Almost Villa.
Wow. Um, is there any more like in that desk or underneath that piece of paper? Are there any more like non-faded stationery pieces?
Yes, there's blank pieces. There's also some sort of that look like first copies because some people do edit and rewrite letters before they mail them. There's
Mhm.
some first copies of letters that you can see were written explaining how tough things were. Their staff were leaving, staff were dying, they couldn't get water anymore, the irrigation system broke down. There's an explanation for every time they had to draw back further in, and there's an awful awareness of what that means, but there's a willful ignorance. They never ever say this is inevitable until it is. It's very stiff upper lip. It's very aristocratic. It's very family, we'll go down and do the crest, the family crest proud. It's also
Mhm.
completely fucking pointless and they died. So
Yeah.
Yeah, like Sid's looking at like timestamps and stuff
yep.
as he's looking, as because we
It
both will go through this desk here,
it took
and
years. Yeah.
yeah, it's like they almost made it. If they had a little bit of humility and asked, and just gestures broadly around him, anyone for help, they could have made it.
Pride commenceth the full.
Like
Stefano
living downwind from a volcano.
Stefano kind of yells in from the portico. Sid, you notice not a steam pipe in sight.
Yeah. As he, say at this point, kind of like different shifts in the
Yeah.
search. We'll say that they're in the kitchen. He's like, yeah, it's all click, click. I don't know.
We don't even have indoor plumbing. You hear from
Were they
down a hall.
manually irrigating? Like with channels and things?
You hear Stefano from down the hall. Holy shit. You ever heard of a bucket brigade? That's the most inefficient shit. And if you go and look, there's a row of buckets that have been set up in a very almost like a ritual fashion at the base of a well.
Oh no.
That
This
was the
family was
implication
re-
of the description that was given to us. Yes.
they were literally carrying. Stefano was right all along too. Verita and Stefano have had this nailed since the beginning. Human irrigation. That's as far as you can carry water when you've got 10 people. That's as far as you can carry water when you got 5 people. They refused to change. They refused to accept help. They refused to ask for help. They
Idiots.
they aristocrated themselves to death.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the first word that comes out of his mouth when he sees the well. Idiots.
Stefano shakes his head. It's on a hill. And then he just
Delilah.
now he can't stand it. He
Damn
has
it.
to turn
Yeah,
around and
I'm-
leave, right? Sorry, Delilah, go. Delilah, Felicity.
Felicity.
I said Delilah and then I went, damn it.
Yes.
Uh, Felicity. Um is are either of the children female?
Yes. One of each.
Okay.
One of the traditional
Um,
each. There. It's a very traditional family. Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Delilah is going to identify the female
Yeah.
adult child.
Yeah.
And she's not proud of it, but she's going to look kind of through the clothing items because they've been going through clothes a lot
Yes.
faster than she anticipated.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, you have got a choice because this
Sid and
is
his socks.
yeah. Sid's getting socks. Delilah Licity is getting a whole is an ensemble, and you are spoiled for choice. This is like ball gowns, day
Oh
wear,
man.
suit jackets, blah, blah, blah,
I
name
th-
brands,
I think
What's a
she
bet?
the
picks out
Louis
something
shoes, whatever the hell it is. Yeah, all that's
um
there. Plus, there's also because this is that aristocratic place, and they also had to work too. There's also some really practical but really like cute little runners,
mhm.
jeans with fashionably rolled up bottoms.
Yeah, I think he grabs like a practical working uh set and then a nicer set
Yeah,
for the inevitable meetings in Venice.
absolutely makes perfect sense. Allegra, we haven't heard from you for a while. You were outside with Verite when last we spoke.
And Allegra is kind of lost in thought because it is very clear to her that that Verity's social issue is that he is too in tuned
Yes,
with the world around him.
yes. That's why it's too much.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's the thing with autism is
Hmm.
the overstimulus because nothing gets
Hypersensitivity.
filtered
There's
out.
no
Nothing gets
filter.
filtered. So
Yep. Mhm.
and so she's thinking about that, and she's starting to become a little glimmer right on the edge of her mind that almost but not quite links that to what she does when she harmonizes. So it's like there's something familiar there and she isn't quite getting it yet. But he talks about it does occur to her that he doesn't sure who should be his hero. She's starting to think that he should be hers.
All of this is going on, and unbeknownst to either of you, because neither of you notice, Verite is now humming.
Yeah, neither of us would notice that.
Nope, not a clue. Sid, you put something in chat. I wanted to get back to you because, yeah, you can dig these graves in no time because you got the hammers, right? So,
Hmm. Between
yes, Hyacinth.
the
The lady of
Yes,
the house
Hyacinth.
speaking,
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
okay,
Uh,
yeah. My mom used to watch Keeping with Appearances,
and
so
room for a pony.
so yeah,
Yes.
I
he puts
love keeping up appearances, but I can't bear to watch very much of it at a time.
Uh, I just want to pat Richard on his shoulder and go, there. Um, but anyway, Sid.
yeah. So Sid starts digging the graves. When he's done, he fills a bucket for each grave and places it at the head, knowing
St-
that eventually the buckets will leak and seep through. And his headspace when he's thinking that is that water is life and lack of water is what killed them.
Yep.
So the very least he can do is provide them with a little bit in the afterlife.
And as you're doing that, Stefano kind of walks up to you again. I'd looked everywhere. There's not a pipe. There's not a steam. There's not even a kettle. What, Sid?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck would you do this? And he just points down at the graves. Not you. Why did they? Why didn't they just do something?
Sid thinks about it for a bit. He's leaning on the shovel as one does. And he's like, well, Stefano, a lot of people, from what I understand, blamed technology for the Great Dying. And so people rejected it in all forms. Some of them did, anyways. If these people were like that, then they did it because they didn't want to admit they were wrong.
But they were.
Yeah. Pride's dangerous like that.
I think Veritas got this figured out, you know? I asked him once, how do you deal with people? And he said, I just don't think about it.
I'm not sure I agree with that, but it works for him.
I don't get it. I just don't. Why wouldn't you? Sid, it's on a hill. All I had to do was dig ditches. One set of ditches, Sid. That's not magic. That's not technology. It's fucking gravity.
But it's different from the way they were doing it. And that means they'd have to admit that the way they were doing it was wrong. And they've already been wrong once, and look what happened.
So this happened because they don't want to change?
Largely, you go with what works. For us, it was corpses.
That didn't work either, though.
No.
I'm glad you guys are here. It's too deep for me.
You are just an intern.
Unpaid. Unpaid. As he starts to walk away.
I think once he's done, he kind of watches for a bit. You know, the place is quiet. There aren't cows. There
Nope.
aren't kids and people.
Nope.
There's literally 6 human beings.
Yep.
And none of them are in his immediate vicinity.
Nope.
So he's just going to sit and listen to the wind for a bit.
Yep. Perfect. Felicity.
Mm-hmm.
From around the corner, looking befused and confuzzled, you hear unpaid, unpaid as Stefano comes around the corner, kind of doing that thing where from here down he's laughing, but from here up he's crying. It's just kind of like the face is just, he's one of you now.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of
He's one of
sees you. He sees you and kind of stops and comes over and says, can we talk about my working conditions?
What do you mean?
I've been an unpaid intern for a long time, and I was wondering if I could be a unpaid engineer now. Maybe double the salary.
Sure.
He kind of grins and looks at the ground and opens his mouth and closes it and opens and closes it and opens it again. It's good to see you smile a little bit. Good to see anybody smile.
It's nice to smile again. Even if it's Rare.
Do you like change? I don't mean like 3 pieces of copper and a piece of tin for gold. I mean like when things aren't the same anymore.
Well, I guess it always depended on the kind of change. And
I just figured, yeah, you
haven't
got like
had
a,
much time to really think about it.
but I mean, like you got a new name and a whole new thing, and people look up to you, and you're like so smart and shit.
People look up to me.
Yeah,
Like who?
like everybody that can smell or spell duh. You're like stupid smart. I mean, you wouldn't have been where you were, paid and not an intern, if you weren't smart. You know what they used to
It's
call you?
Delilah.
To your face. They called you the brainy bitch.
Oh,
The engineers
okay.
hated you. You were doing in your head stuff it took them 20 minutes and a pencil to figure out.
Oh, okay. So it was like a
Two of them
jealousy thing.
wanted to kill you, and I'm not even fucking kidding. Like, not even drunk talk.
Oh my, I
They were afraid of you.
what?
They were afraid of you. You were doing
How
shit
is
by
this
the
supposed to
time
make me feel better?
you were doing shit by the time you were 25 that they were doing before they were 50, and you were doing it better. You were going to replace a whole floor of them.
I know.
Oh, good. You're not going to stand there and pretend it wasn't true.
I know. I didn't know that they were calling me that. But
Well, no, you'd have killed us. I mean, them. Shit.
he just kind of whaps Stefano on the back of the head lightly.
He does the as though you've nuked him.
That would have been horrendous. And I wouldn't have known how awful it was.
Yep. Good thing the world ended, huh?
Good is a relative term.
So about that promotion.
Yeah?
Can I be your unpaid engineer?
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Want a drink? I found a cellar.
Yeah, I do. I really do.
I gotta go get us some stupidly old wine, and he just wanders off down to the basement and comes back with just a dust-covered bottle of something.
Dick.
Yeah. I mean, it was old when it was put down there, and that was 3 decades ago, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the chateau, of course. Yeah.
Delilah
Snooty.
will.
Yeah.
Delilah will. She probably has a multi-tool or something, just like
Yeah.
and find some glassware in the kitchen and pour a glass for both of them.
So in this,
Just say,
yeah.
cheers to the new position.
Hey, clink.
Clink.
and he has a drink.
Delilah just fucking downs it.
Yeah, and it's a vino. It's it probably should have been mixed with water. It's kaboom. In a bowl.
Chateau Snute.
Yes. Yeah. So we will leave the two of you having a drink in the dusty kitchen of this Roman knockoff villa. Sid outside in the yard contemplating eternity and wooden buckets full of water and an inability to change. Sid. The scene was not by accident. Sid, inability to change. Sid. And
It's called being dependable.
and Allegra.
Yeah, and your ribs were so rigid they broke.
Sid's middle name is Inflexible, for the good or for bad. That's what his middle name is. And Allegra is being very quietly hummed at and doesn't even know it.
It actually does help her harmonize with him.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So it's extremely
yeah.
obstinate.
But I look at with the apostrophe, it's like it's an Irish family, the obstinate family.
Good old Irish wine.
Yes. Oh, yes. The finest.
No, that was the Sid, Inflexible from the Obstinates.
From the obstinate family.
The wine is from Chateau Snute.
Yes. So, in that weird moment of kind of dust-filled, hazy calmness, we find ourselves. So the wine is finished. The graves are dug. The song kind of hums itself to a mutual conclusion out in the yard. It's only late afternoon. What are you doing?
Delilah's gonna, Felicity is going to. Technically, the clothes she got from the village aren't that bad, so she'll wait until those get wrecked to like put on.
Yeah,
new ones.
They're just homespun is the word that
yeah,
came to mind.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But like before they get to Venice, she'll probably change.
Yep.
But I think before she goes back to the car, she sits at that writing desk.
Yep.
And first she writes about this encounter in her notebook.
Mm-hmm.
And then she takes that piece of paper that says Almost Villa.
Yep.
And she takes the pen and she writes to, like, basically to whomever comes after us. We found this place in a sorry state, and its owners in a sorrier one. But we have laid them to rest, and we understand their struggle. Treat this place with dignity, because it's what they deserve despite their
it's the only thing they would have valued is their dignity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, because everyone still deserves it despite their shortcomings, I guess.
Fair.
Yeah.
I love
she's
it.
a little more
more
eloquent about it than I can conjure in the moment. But
this is a movie. There are script writers. It'll be beautiful.
Yeah.
And yes, that was a very graceful moment from Felicity. Thank you. That was very nice. So you leave behind this testament to them, even though what they did on a practical level doesn't make any sense. They died standing up for what they believe in a weird pointless
Even
way.
if they were wrong.
Even if
Yeah,
they were
even if
wrong.
they were
Speaker for the
wrong.
Dead, yes. Oh, great book, by the way. Great. Oh, amazing series of books. Um, I won't get into it. Never mind.
So then Felicity will put her notebook back in her bag and make her way back to the car. I think she doesn't know what happened outside at the car,
Yeah.
but something feels different, and not she's not good enough at picking things up to like be like, aha, I know what happened here.
Mhm.
But she just feels like the vibe is different.
Yep. At,
Like
at peace.
Everybody's getting used
something
to that
maybe
with Allegra
happened.
around.
Yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
that at peace moment, right? You come back there, and for once, Verite isn't just sort of. He's just sitting there, and people are just sitting, and not in a bad way. They're that's all they're doing because that's all that needs to be done right now. That's the correct response to this is just sit. All right, so there's that peace, and you get back in the car, and it's like that. It's 4:30 in the morning, and you're going on holidays or on a fishing trip or something, and everybody's sort of half awake, so it's really quiet in the car. You can hear the seat creaking when people move around. The click of somebody doing up their seatbelt is really loud. It's kind of that.
And actually, as Felicity's walking up, Allegra gives her kind of a long look. And what does she see in Felicity's attitude,
Yeah.
body language?
Um
Insight check, except wrong game.
Yes. Yeah.
she sees someone who still someone who thinks she might know who she is but isn't sure yet, and someone who is facing the world anew in all of its scary glory and is trying to maintain composure while also finding herself, all sort of bundled up into this package that is um professional and attempting to be something, even though she feels like there may not be something for her to be.
And right behind her is Stefano giving off the vibe of it's her first steps. If you touch her, I'll kill her. I'll kill you. Right? He's in complete hover mode, just behind and out of sight of Felicity because he wouldn't dare do this to her face.
And Allegra wants to hear what Felicity chooses to say about it and says, all okay?
Yeah. I mean, people are dead. So, that's never fun. But we're here. We're making the best of what we have. And I think it's time we said goodbye. We've given them the proper burial. And I think there are places that we need to be.
And with that, Allegra will slide herself down and get her crutches out and start moving around towards the passenger side of the back seat of the car.
Absolutely. Artemis makes face. Um, Verite is kind of looking around at everybody, and his eyes stop on Felicity. And he says, okay, so where next?
Well, I believe the direction that we have is north. Wherever that takes us.
Yeah, but there's mammoths and tigers and stuff up there. I don't know if I want to go there.
There's what?
Mammoths and tigers. It was in the dream. Big, long tigers with big teeth.
Any bears?
I didn't see any bears, but they could have been there. There was lots of forest. You could find bears in forests. They pooped there.
Verite, mammoths and saber-toothed tigers are extinct.
I know, but they were in the dream, and the target was in the dream.
But the target wasn't a target, it was a house. So
It looked
maybe
different.
it's a metaphor for something.
Have you ever... Okay, hear me out. At the Citadel, they had, in like the really exclusive rooms, archives of like rare specimens. I
They
think
tended
they
not
used
to
to
let
be
the
called museums.
Generally, we put things we found in the dirt in there. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it ended up in the scrap. But there was always...
If something, there are a lot of extinct animals in those archives. I mean, it's a shot in the dark, but I don't know, an abandoned museum somewhere. Or maybe there are mammoths and saber-toothed tigers roaming Italy. Fuck if I know anymore.
We've already fought giant mutated... What were those? Raccoons?
Verite
Rats.
interrupts.
Oh no,
and
they
sa-
were raccoons.
Verite interrupts and says, Felicity, you could make mastodons. You made
That's
people.
not the priority right now, Verite.
Well, I didn't mean you should. I just wondered if maybe somebody did.
Oh, right.
It's a
That would be concerning. That's a very sour idea forms in Felicity's mind, and her lips purse and her face kind of scrunches, and she's like, I don't like what that could imply.
And Verite follows the because you do this, right? The head comes down, you have that thought, and Verite just crouches and stays in your field of view till he's down there on his knees in front of you. Then he looks up at you and he says, you didn't used to care. I like you better now that you care.
Doom spiral derailed.
Delilah looks at Felicity, looks at Verite with a smile, and kind of like tousles his hair, what's left of it.
Uh-huh.
Pairing is what happens when you have something that means something to you. I guess I didn't have that before, other than my job, but
And
that's how I was trained.
his little lip starts to go, you care?
I mean, didn't you just say I did? And yeah,
Yeah, but
I do.
that was, I said, not you. Never mind. Will you be my hero? And it's a legitimate question.
Um, what do you mean?
My hero, the one who's always there when I need them, and is always brave when I'm not, and is strong enough to pull me out when I'm in trouble, and is smart enough to know when I'm in trouble and when to pull me out, and gets me out of places I shouldn't be in, and talks when I shouldn't talk, and talks when I don't talk, and
I think Felicity puts her hand on Verité's shoulder
ah,
and looks directly into his eyes and says, Verité, a hero can do all that stuff, yes. But a hero also teaches you how to do it for yourself so that you can become a hero too.
oh, I couldn't become a hero.
I want to prove you wrong. I'll be your hero.
And there his shoulders drop, and you can see the weight he was trying to carry on his skinny little shoulders, all sunburned and confused. And he's, for a split second, he's that little guy stuck in the back of that room in Florence. And then you're back here, and you can see he's filled out. He's physically stronger. I mean, you all are. He looks beat up, but there is still at the center of him this little spark that just won't go out. It doesn't know how to go out, but it's scared shitless. The price of bringing Verite out into the world is you need to protect him. So, as much as you don't know this, but as much as Sid has been tasked with getting you to Florence by a certain couple of ghosts who might not be ghosts, you have just been tasked by your own words to be Verite's hero and to do all those 1,000 things he needs a hero to do until you can make him a hero.
And Lila, Felicity.
I love it. Delilah's still
Felicity.
here. You're saying this for a reason. It's because Delilah's not gone yet.
Felicity actually goes into her bag and pulls out a little automaton of her that Verite made for her
Yep.
all that time ago, that like month ago.
Yep.
That seems like eons. And gives it back to him, puts it in his hands, and says, I'll always be with you. But if I'm not able to help you, think of me and how I would help you. And help yourself. Okay?
So when I'm in trouble, I should use my big brain to get out of trouble.
Yes. Yes, you are so smart.
I
And
meant
so...
you. You said how you would solve the problem.
Oh, you got me. You got me. Yes. That's a good start. Use your big brain. My big brain to get yourself out of trouble.
So you will be my hero. And
I said yes.
Because he's just grinning.
Is that, did you just quote Kamina?
I did.
Sorry, Kevin, repeat that.
That's okay. It's just yeah, I actually like that every bit as much as what I said. So yeah, it just gives you that little grin, like you said it, but now you said it and you meant it. I trapped you.
Oh no.
That's sarcasm. See, I'm getting it.
Mm, mm.
And he kind of he without a thought, he reaches over and pushes your shoulder like that kind of schoolyard. Oh, I'm
Mhm.
sorry. I shouldn't have.
You're fine.
Okay.
Everybody ready? We're off to Venice. Or mammoths. One of the two.
Mammoth is a ski hill just outside Telluride. I don't know how the hell you're going to get there from here. Anyway, as you drive back out of the target, like from this villa to the grass, to the trees, to the saplings, to the yearling trees, to the feral forest, and back onto the highway and a wrong turn at Albuquerque. You head back north. There's a bit of a storm out over the ocean, but I mean it's the Mediterranean, so it's really prettier than it is dangerous. It's really impressive. Big piled up clouds. There is some waves breaking along the shore, but it's not a big deal because there's nobody out there. And just yeah, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say there be dragons.
That's absolutely Puff the Magic Dragon was a rock that the water went on. I went, ooh, it's a dragon. I get it. Um, yeah, half a pint of Irish whiskey, and there be fucking dragons everywhere. But especially if it's got a little ergot in it. Woo! Look at that.
Ooh.
Look at me seeing stuff and drunk. Ooh.
Or got me seeing things.
Speaking of seeing things, as the sun sets in the west over that ocean, you crest yet another in an unbelievably consistent series of ridges that honestly makes up Italy. Look at the map. It's just mountains everywhere. You come out of another pass, and the shape of the valley ahead of you in the gathering gloom is familiar. You can almost hear the sounds of animals that shouldn't be here. This is the valley of the mammoths. This is the valley of the saber-toothed cats. And speckled along the bottom of the valley, down in the bottom where it's already dark, are little tiny fires. They're not houses. They're not villages. Look for all the world like campfires. One over here, one over there. You look at it, they're actually weirdly evenly spaced.
Are we gonna need Artemis's rifle?
The look on Sid's face is somewhere between, oh, we're back to this shit again, and what are we getting ourselves into?
And from the cocoon in the back seat, an arm comes up, thump, with a rifle.
Okay, well, we've got one if we need it.
Thump, back under the blankets. Snuggle, 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 snuggle. Full cocoon.
Oh, before we left, I did put the dragon hat on Artemis.
Okay, yeah. So, dragon hat and a rifle and a headache. Perfect.
Ready.
It's just the crest of the hammock where her head would be.
Yeah.
Just this thunk.
Yeah, just like a pillow. And in that gathering darkness, from the far end of the valley, you hear a screech. Not like any animal you've ever heard in your lives. Not that many of you have heard much in the way of animals. But this is the sound that everybody who's ever been to a movie knows. It is that concatenation of noises of the dragon slash pterodactyl slash pteranodon screaming down a valley. You hear the echoes. And and one by one the fires go out.
I don't think we want to go any further tonight, and we might want to back.
We should
up.
probably move the vehicle off the road.
Let's stay at the top of the valley.
Oh.
Get off
Bloody
the
stowed
road.
us for the night.
We go back over the ridge
I'll-
the other way a little bit before we take camp.
Yeah.
Right.
Delilah backs the car.
Yep.
And
Actually,
then like
I hate to be a pedant, but you'd have to turn it around. You can't back up a spring-powered car because you'd be undoing
Fair.
the spring. So you actually have to turn around and drive back.
yeah.
We found a
whatever,
flaw
she'll
with
do
my
that.
infinitely intelligent plan for a vehicle.
Yeah, she'll do that.
Okay.
And so she stops a little ways past back over the ridge. Parks the car off the side of the road. And it's like, you know what? I'll take first watch. You guys get some sleep, okay?
And as you, yep,
Sid's
Sid,
like, if
let's
I
go
could.
around. Yeah, Sid, if I could, yeah. So Sid, yeah, let's go around here. Delilah, or sorry, Felicity, I'm doing it too now. You've offered to take first watch, so we know what you're going to do. Sid, you're told to go to bed. What do you do?
He tries, but like it takes like Delilah sees him lay down for maybe 5-10 minutes before he's up and like moving brush to cover the
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
Felicity just like shakes her head and is just like tut tut, but whatever, man.
In the very, very back, Verity's asleep already. You told him to go to sleep. He went to sleep. He does what he's told. He's a good boy. Stefano, you see, has got a pen and a piece of just like a piece of bark or something, and he's doing complicated maths and muttering to himself. And I guess technically, K-Grams, you're correct. It could have a transmission, but in my head, it was direct drive because it's more efficient. But anyway.
Yeah, Verite wouldn't have put that into account. We needed to go forward, not backward.
It's right. You just go forward the other way.
Yeah.
Felicity.
Yeah.
Felicity says, "Do you want some paper?"
Yeah. Yeah. Frequency math is always tricky. You got paper?
Yeah. She'll tear a piece of paper out of the back of her notebook and hand it over.
Yeah. And you see he's as you do, you catch a glimpse of his notes, and it's harmonics. He's doing harmonics mathematics.
Can I see those?
He kind of grins and he's tired. And he looks, you want to see me bark? And he hands you the wood and goes, woof. And it starts writing again on the other piece of paper.
Yeah.
I'm an engineer now. Engineer humor. Unpaid engineer humor. It's
Still
really not
bad.
very good.
Yeah, exactly. Felicity is gonna look over this math.
Yeah. It's to do with sounds and the combination of sine waves and compression.
Where did you get the notion to do these equations?
Because I think what we heard is a siren. Because dragons don't exist.
I'm not saying it's a dragon, because you're right, they don't exist, unfortunately. Verite did bring up a point, though, earlier. If someone has been dabbling in bioengineering, we are getting closer to Venice. They could have stolen the resources.
And there's all kinds of weird stuff coming out of Venice too, with potions and stuff. But I don't think it's that complicated. Did you see how quick the fires went out after
Yeah, I think
the noise?
that's called fear.
Yes. And if that fear is caused by a monster, that's one thing. But if that fear is caused by a siren, that means somebody's doing it.
So we have two theories then.
When we go down there tomorrow, can we break the rule about splitting up?
I don't know, that seems even more dangerous than usual.
It's just, I got a theory that I want to test, but if I'm wrong, I don't want to look like an idiot.
If you're wrong, I will personally make sure that no one calls you an idiot.
He kind of grins. He says, but you'll bust me back to unpaid intern. I just got this job.
Only if it's colossally stupid.
Oh, I'm good at colossally stupid. Did I tell you about my sister's birthday party when I burned down the house?
No, but now you have to.
From the car. That was you.
The fireworks said not suitable for inside. They did not say do not use inside. They just said they weren't suitable for inside.
Oh my god.
I thought it would just be extra spectacular, and it was many things, one of which was spectacular.
We had to call half of second shift off just to help with the fire control.
I blew up half a house.
I hope you didn't blow up anyone alive.
And there's a flicker. And he's, no, but I wrecked a lot of constructs.
Oh.
That didn't bother me before.
It's complicated. We can talk about that later. That's not something you can easily get through in a night. But if you need to talk about it, you can talk about it to me.
Okay. And he goes back to doing the math on the piece of paper. Allegro. You're sitting there quietly absorbing all of this, seeing all of this play out. Beside you, just behind you in the back seat, Verite is snoring. But he's snoring in a very specific frequency. He's snorumming. And it's just this one note. And you now know what Verite sounds like when he's turned off. This is just the power surge going through a wire. It's just that sound. This is Verite's sound.
I just think of that video of the hummingbird snoring.
Yeah. Just existing. Just yeah. It's just a noise.
So, Allegra is going to do her nightly harmonic state
Yep.
of sort of getting, doing her meditation, her hum that is sort of taking in the world around her and kind of focused a little on the next valley. And I'm actually going to make a play because I can get 3 successes for tokens for tomorrow.
Perfect. So you've got 3 for when we roll
And
down into the valley.
I have to throw out my whole hand.
Fair enough, because you'll have time before we get to the bottom, because you guys are taking a rest before you go. And with that, because I had so much else to do earlier today, I warned these guys beforehand that we might be a little short tonight, but we made it quite a ways. It's almost 10 to 8, so
and your
we did
voice
quite
has
well.
lasted the whole way.
Not by much, I got to tell you. There's going to be some going on after this. But thank you all for joining in tonight. Tonight was called what did I call it? You put it
Waking
Waking up.
waking up. Yes. So you were. I hope everybody had a moment tonight when their characters woke up. Sid, it's there's more to life than responsibility. Right? You've got 1,000 jobs you need to do, but you also need to lighten the fuck up, according to, a very intelligent young man. Um, Allegra, you are finding the tune of a group of people who probably would best be described as being out of tune by most people's descriptions with the world around them, and yet somehow you are finding this magical chord. You are the REM of the music world, because this is definitely grunge. I mean, there's no way this is anything but grunge. So, but you're doing that, and Felicity / Delilah / damn it Felicity is I'm enjoying it, and I put it that way on purpose because I blurted it out. I blurted it out partway through, but yeah, you're trying to build Felicity, but Delilah's not gone yet. So there's this damn it thing where you keep trying to be this other person, but you're
People
used
are
to
more
being
complex than constructs. This isn't
Yes.
working.
Yes, exactly. And that was the big thing, the big takeaway for tonight. And I saw you all get it. You all care now. None of you are okay with the robotic shit that happened in Florence. None of you are okay with the terrible treatment you've seen anywhere. You're all empaths now. And you have all the information. You do. You have all the information you need to save the world. The last bit was tonight. So, with that, we've got probably half a dozen more encounters before we actually get to Venice itself. That is not the end of the game, but it's going to be a very distinct change in the way we play it. Because when we get there, you're going to become administrators. You're going to become heads of departments. And you're going to get to rebuild a city that way, rather than as one person sitting in a tavern fighting goblins for experience points. So we're going to change the way this whole game works once we get there. But that's fair warning, and that's for the future. Absolutely. But until we come back next week, I have many, many thanks, because here it goes. Oh boy. This game is tough. This is a very challenging game to run, and it's a very challenging game to play. I can see it every week in your faces. So thank you for coming back as often as you do. Thank you, Bison_Stonefist. Thank you, Wayward No_Knight. And thank you, Karis, not even a space, Sophia. Thank you all. Thank you to chat and everybody in chat tonight. I do read it. We do watch it. If you're watching on VOD, please enjoy the show. I hope you did if you got all the way to here. And if you're watching on YouTube and you got all the way to here, please hit the like button, because I'm going to assume you did. And hit the other buttons too, just because they're there and it's one click. It costs you nothing. Just hit the buttons. It makes life good for me. Also, yes, please put in a comment. They really do feed the algorithm, and I really do read them. I don't respond to all of them, but I really do read every single one of them. So, yeah, just hit the smile. Hit we get swirly hearts. We got paragraphs and paragraphs in one of our games. It's awesome. And that's from one of the players. I love all of it. So thank you all for making me feel special. Every time we do this, I feel special because I get to see people feeling special, and that makes me happy. So until next time, please take that thought. We're heading into that season. It can be exhausting. It can be tiring. Remember who your friends are. And when you've got the energy, please be nice to each other. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.